as of right now, over 620,000 like-minded people already. No one has ever done what OnPassive is doing. No one. Keep it. This is life-changing, folks. Create an automated passive income online for anyone in the world. Who doesn't want 24/7 passive and income for themselves? 4.8 billion internet users global, 100 million users in the first year we're actually forecasting, and I really believe that number is low. Ability to pass your business on to future generations, and that's powerful too as well, folks. You can pass it on to your loved ones or whoever you choose to. Licensed to operate in over 190 countries at the gold standard. Just keep that in mind. I've never seen a company to be able to do this like at this level. You're in front of, just think of being in front of Amazon, Microsoft, Google, before, when they were in their garages, before they went even into IPOs and became a share or a stock. You have a chance as a founder to have that opportunity here with OnPassive. Extremely powerful. And you know, when I started doing my due diligence, man, I didn't see it the very first week or two, but if you do your education, this really starts to grow on you. All right, our model is unique because we provide a platform to those with businesses so they become more successful. We provide those that have no business a success in online marketing, a plug and play system that guarantees their success. Wow. We seek to help them obtain abundance. This is for absolutely every individual, whether you have a business, whether you're network marketing, it does not matter, a small to mom and pop business. And really, you know, for those small business owners out there, I strongly and highly recommend OnPassive and becoming a founder, because you'll be getting instant marketing and traffic from OnPassive. Customers themselves or founders will come to you as customers. And what you got to keep in mind throughout all this, OnPassive is, will have artificial intelligence. It's changing the world of digital marketing, and digital marketing is the future today, folks. I'm not sure in your area, but I do know in my area, everybody's ordering online. Everyone's going to skip the dishes or something online, and everything's becoming virtual. And can you imagine being part of OnPassive and having target-driven actual customers and leads to you with artificial intelligence? That is mind-boggling. I tell you, it's just amazing. Let's think about these benefits. A fun solution for any cause, immediate payment, unlimited residual income paid to you daily if you become a founder. Top marketing automation done for you. Everything is done for you. It's a turnkey. Everything's done for you. Does not matter if you're active or passive. Let's think about these benefits. Guaranteed visitors and signups. Guaranteed visitors and signups. Where are you going to get that today? Breakthrough products for the automation and financial freedom, and a whole lot more. The future is here. Our system's effortless. Builds your team, grows your business. So it's your team, your business, no matter whether you want it or not, you're going to get more business. Provides unlimited rotators, fresh websites and destination pages. Automatically sends you traffic to your sites. Seamless reviews and converts and joins for you. And everything is just, you want to understand that everything is automated and deployed using artificial intelligence, state of the art, folks. No one has done this. No one. You hear the Googles, the Facebook, these are all one product, okay? We're talking about 50 products, and you're going to have your hands on, which I believe, it's just, to me, is mind-boggling. And the time to completely run your whole business on autopilot, from advertising, marketing, leads, sign up, recurring, team building, any business opportunity, it's all automated. Everything's done for you. Just automates your existing business and provides you a massive income opportunity by simply using the breakthrough platform and state of the art. And just keep in mind, this is AI, and it's just going to be totally different than what you've ever seen before. 100% risk-free guaranteed OnPassive is 100% on the $97, folks. That's just amazing. In 12 months, again, they're forecasting 100 million customers. I believe it's going to be higher. It's going to be for teachers, dentists, doctors. I don't think there's anything that could not use OnPassive. Everybody today is using online marketing and some form of software. So it's absolutely for absolutely everyone. And I'm extremely excited to hear about all those products. Team size, bank account size, start with 0. And you're in 60 days, you're going to have 3 customers. In 4 months, 12 customers. 6 months, 40. 8 months, 100. 10 months, 400. 12 months, 1,000 customers. Online sales is expected to reach $4.9 trillion this year. How big will your bank account be? Now, folks, just keep in mind what I just shared with you, all those products, not one, not two, but 50 or more, folks. And we will adapt to different, different markets and whatever the demand is. We are a software and AI company and a brick and mortar. This is not network marketing. This is a resellers program, extremely powerful. When you really get the idea of that, it just starts growing on you. If you're an active person, you have a team of 3. After 12 months, you're going to 3,000. Team of 4. After 12 months, 10,000. Team of 100, 25,000. Team of 500, 50,000. Team of 1,000, 100,000. Well, we have a special guest coming on tonight, and I'm really going to ask him about those questions and see what he feels, and see what he thinks about all this. Active or passive, you will win. And that's our mission statement, folks. And I'm going to say it one more time. Whether you're active, you want to share, or passive, you will win. And it's okay if you don't want to share it, that's fine. But I've never seen it before where it doesn't matter who you are, you will win. I've never seen it before that people are making sure they're taking care of their loved ones, their sons and daughters, their parents, whatever. People are sharing this, and people are, we got 3,000 plus a day that are coming on every day. And I really believe that those numbers are going to grow exponentially here soon as we get more and more products out. Imagine total life freedom in the next 12 to 24 months. Automatic product selling, team customers, follow-up, sales, internet millionaires, no selling of products, no referring customers, 100% done for you, a turnkey business by OnPassive. Never seen it before, state of the art, folks. Now, let's just jump through this really quickly. And, founders positions is the best choice. Okay, as a founder, someone who joins before launching the world and pays the founder's fee. Upon launch, they will automatically become a customer, a reseller, but never have to sell anything. That's just amazing. The customer is a general public that may buy 1 or 2 products, and or the full suite. It all depends. They're going to, piecemeal it maybe, but I believe once they really see what's going to happen. And also all customers are going to be able to have a 7-day trial. I know that if they buy one product or sample one, they're going to want to get the resellers program or just buy the full suite of products. A reseller is a customer who buys a full suite of products and services. They receive high traffic areas and a reseller's license. And don't forget, or pardon me, if you become a founder, when we launch, there'll be no more founders. They'll become resellers and customers only. So there's an opportunity right now to just jump in as a founder. All right. So a founder's position price will increase and have the ability to beta test products. That's called soft launch. That's coming in the future here. And today it's still only $97 plus a $5 credit card fee. Hard launch is expected sometimes in the summer, sometimes this year, and pay initial, fees of approximately $250, give or take 20 bucks on either side. Founder's position will close and will be locked down, no longer founder's positions. And there's a lot of benefits, and we'll be asking our guests about that tonight. Founders only pay once to join. I'm going to say that one more time. Founders positions only pay once to join, 1 activation fee. You could buy as many founders positions as you like and highly recommend it, especially folks in North America. I tell folks you have to have at least a minimum of 3 to 5. Some folks are buying 10, 20, and hundreds. It all depends where you are. And if it's okay, if you can only afford 1, that's just as good, because I believe every founder's position is a winner here today. Every position is a winner. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you could do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. That's a quote from Richard Branson. I highly recommend that quote. I love that quote. But I also got to tell you here, you don't really need to learn anything. But if you get educated with OnPassive, then it'll be in your blood. You won't be able to stop sharing OnPassive. Come, let our never seen before artificial intelligence information technology build you an automatic income for life. First time, never seen before technology, folks. It's just absolutely amazing. All you have to do is get in, folks. All you have to do is get in. Just make sure you talk to the person that, brought you this call if you're not involved yet, and become a founder. I highly recommend that you go to onpassive.com and go play around with the site. And when I first started, this site was not even available. And wow, am I impressed. All the information, there's a sidebar in case you don't know, all the information's here, all the different products. They explain what all the different products are going to be. That was not there when I first started in January. There now is 4 products we were able to sample. That was not there when I first started. And now, as I get more and more educated, I get more and more excited what's going on. So thank you for joining us and learning more about our business opportunity. You are in it to win it. Now, that really concludes the PowerPoint presentation. And now the highlight of tonight's call, and I'm just going to stop sharing right now. And I'm just going to get my things all set up here for a moment. Just give me one moment and we're going to get right into it here. All right, now we have our special guest, Dr. Michael Williams. And I just just want to say a few words about Michael. And, Michael, it's just been great. And thank you so much for coming on this call. We really appreciate coming on this call. And we know how hard you work and your time is so valuable. But Michael, I want people to really, and I want to go back in time in January, that's when I really got to know you, Michael. We spent 2 weeks almost every night talking to folks from around the world. And, I just want everybody to know that you speak from the heart, and it's you that really turned on the light bulb. And I wanted to bring you on tonight for the existing founders and potential founders and business owners. And, it's just been amazing because really when Onpassive really gets going here and gets into your blood, you can't stop talking about it. And you know what? You're part of the legal counsel. I know that. I want you to talk a little bit about your history and what you think about Onpassive and how you got involved. And you go way back right at the very beginning. And congratulations to my friend. You're the #1 person on the leadership, on the leaderboard. And I know you're a big influencer in the legal counsel. So Michael, thank you so much. We're so honored to have you on the call. Say a few words to our audience, please.
Well, thanks so much, Frank. It's great to be here. It's always a pleasure anytime I get an opportunity to speak about Onpassive. For me, I've been on the internet for more than 10 years now. Internet marketing, that's my specialist, email marketing in particular. And for me, I've always thought, why is it not possible to join a company and you simply pay the company and then the company can do the work for you? Why not? They have the resources, they have the manpower, etc. And so I created my own system called Automatic Internet Millionaire. And basically, it was really for people to get involved in a business whereby all they had to do was just get in, and so that was my kind of mindset 10 years ago, and jump forward, to 2018, where a good friend of mine shared Onpassive with me. And it didn't take me long to realize exactly what was going on because I was using a lot of these digital tools. I was using autoresponders, capture pages, bulk mailer, all these different tools that I was already using. So I was familiar on the product side of things, and then when I get to understand what the CEO, Ash Mafara, was all about, the type of person that he was, and what the plans, goals, mission, vision, et cetera, was for the company, I was sold, and so I locked arms with him and just went to work immediately. And I'm telling you, it's the best decision I've ever made. So for now, for the past year and a half or so, I would say that I've dropped everything, including what I was doing before, and just been focused on Onpassive simply because I believe that this is the last business anyone will ever need, and so as I look at the products, looks at the suite, I look at the comparison that's out there in the marketplace and just see everything, in under one umbrella, more cost effective, it's truly a winner. There's no doubt about that. And this company will create, I would say more millionaires than any other company, period, in the marketplace. So I look forward to seeing how it's going to transform so many people's lives.
Awesome, Michael. Michael, I got a few questions from some of our founders, some of our guests, and I'd like to share some of those with you. Now, you just touched on a couple of things. You've been in this business for quite some time. You're a mathematician, etc. Just, one of the things that keep coming up is Onpassive really that good? Can we get the numbers, some of the numbers that have been out there that I've been sharing? Can you just tell us what your thoughts about number of customers? We don't, and also how much money have you made since you started with Onpassive?
Well, I'll answer the last one. How much money have I made? Zero. I've not made a dime. This is not some game or anything like that. It's a real business, and so we are in pre-launch. The company's building everything from scratch. We know back in 2018, summer of 2018, there was nothing, it was just an idea, and that has blossomed now to over 620,000 individuals get involved in this company. That is massive. That I can't think of another company who has done that. So as I look at that, that just gives me the framework that I need to see that numbers wise, whatever income a person can imagine that is realistic, they can achieve it with Onpassive. There's no doubt about that. By the time we get to the actual hard launch, I suspect we're going to have about 1 million founders in, and then there'll be no more founders position. Okay, so then the company will go to work for all of us, And simply they're going to set up our domain name, a unique domain name for people, all the back end stuff, the autoresponders, capture pages, and all of that. And then they will go and find the potential customers. And this is the beauty of artificial intelligence. This is the beauty of technology. You by yourself, you're not going to bring in 100 million customers. You're just not going to do it, right? But with technology, you certainly can. And that's what we see projected in the first 12 months, that yes, it's very realistic, very, very realistic to see 100 million customers in the first 12 months of this business. So can you imagine if you have 100,000 of those 100 million on your team? Can you imagine if you have 1 million customers on your team? So that's where the numbers and the income come from. It's from customers, right? And so we know that there's almost 5 billion internet users that's out there, right? And so 100 million is nothing, Frank. So definitely in the first 12 months, I foresee, think of Facebook. Facebook has over 3 billion when you combine WhatsApp and Instagram and so on. Under the Facebook umbrella, but there's no reason why OnPassive cannot receive at least 1 billion users. There's no reason not for that not to happen. So I clearly see that happen in the near future as we proceed with the launch and so on, for sure.
Michael, I know you know a lot about the numbers, and when you speak about the numbers and you're so confident about it, it just makes me feel that much better about it. And I really believe, and I actually concur with everything that you just said. When you have an audience of 5 billion people, I mean, and the products, and I know the types of products that Ash is going to be bringing out with the quality. He's showed us quality insurance and all that stuff. Like, it's a done deal, and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to run through a few things that keep coming up that, our founders talk about, and they just need reassuring. And it's just great to have it from you. You've been around since 2018. When somebody joins, and there's one thing that it's everywhere. One time out of pocket, $97. One time out of pocket once we were founder. And what happens thereafter? How does the mechanism work so that they don't have to put out money anymore any month? And are they going to be generating, as a reseller, any income from that? Can you just kind of give us an overview? Because that's got to be the number one question that keeps coming up over and over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it starts with the products, Frank. So if we just think about them, right? And I'll just touch on just a few, right? We know that e-learning platform, for example, that's a massive industry, projected to be over $350 billion by the year 2025. So what's going to happen, instead of people using like Udacity or Udemy, they're going to use OnPassive Academy, right? Instead of people using, a GoFundMe for crowdfunding, right? We know the large fees that they charge and so on, yet they make over $100 million per year in revenue. Right? So instead of using GoFundMe, people will be able to use Bless, powered by OnPassive, right? Zoom, we're on Zoom right now. We know if someone gets a Zoom account and they have 10,000 attendees, it's going to cost them, $6,500 US per month. Okay, that's a lot of money. And then if you go up even higher, it's going to cost you even more, right? And yet all these products, if somebody wants to have a bulk mailer, so somebody wants to mail out, 100,000 emails, they can't go to their Gmail account and do that. It's not going to happen. Right? So you need a bulk mailer. So OnPassive has OPost. So instead of people using a company like JMailer Pro, they'll be able to use OPost. And the list goes on and on. URL shortener. They can use Otrim instead of using Bitly or Blink, right? Those other companies, because just with a trim URL, okay, with Bitly, if you want a URL shortener, it can go up to $300 per month just to have a link shortener. So the costs, can add up real quickly for people who are actually using these tools on the internet, and so when we look at what OnPassive is provided for, it's just a few $100, right? So it starts with that. So the demand is going to be there, because if you can provide something, people with something that's more cost effective, naturally they're going to take a look, right? And when they see that it makes so much sense, they're going to become customers, right? And then from there, some of them will become resellers, right? So it's that part of it is a done deal. Right. But as we look at it, though, Frank, we clearly see this is what's going to happen. OK, people, when we get to hard launch, so the full public launch, that's when people are going to purchase their product package. So they're getting all these products, right, for one low price. OK, and they pay that one time out of pocket. And so what happens next is that, remember now, the company's going to set you up with your unique domain name. The company's going to be driving the traffic. The company's going to be doing the presentation, the follow up, closing the sale. Even the customer support, the company's doing all of that for you. Okay, so it truly is 100% hands-free. But then what happens though is that as these sales starts to come in, okay, so that's how you're making money, because as soon as the sale is made, you get paid instantly. You're not going to wait for a week or a month or whatever. As soon as the sale is made, you get paid instantly. And so the company will provide you with two wallets. You have a funding wallet and you have a withdrawal wallet. So every dollar that comes in, okay, that you earn, okay, a portion goes into the funding wallet and the rest goes into your withdrawal wallet. Anything that goes in your withdrawal wallet is yours to take out, whether daily, weekly, monthly. There's no requirements to withdraw, none of that. Whatever goes into your funding wallet, that now accumulates and then it pays the next month's subscription. Okay, so that's why we say it's one time out of pocket. Every month going forward, it's always coming out of your earnings. So if you make $500, they take out the amount for this month's subscription. If you make $1,000, same thing, right? So that will happen over and over again. As I said, and as we move on in time, we will clearly see that, now you have 3 customers, then you have 10 customers, then you have 20, it just continues to grow, right? And so that's what's going to happen for people. So when we say it's one time out of pocket, you pay one time as a founder, right, out of your pocket, and then you pay one time for your actual products, okay? That's it, nothing else out of pocket. Everything else is going to be out of earnings. So it's a complete win-win for people. They don't have to worry about auto ship. You've been in business, Frank, that, where there's an auto ship, people paying $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever, right? And then that there's some people, they're going to look, okay, this month I didn't make no money. Should I pay my auto ship, or should I pay for my bill? Should I pay my phone bill? Should I pay my hydro bill? You know what I mean? So with this, retention, we don't need to worry about retention. When people come into ONPASSIVE and they realize what it's really about, they're not leaving. They're not, for 620,000. And I would say for those who have actually asked for a refund, because people do get 100% money back guarantee with it. We're talking about a handful of individuals who've done that. So that is amazing when you're talking about 620,000 people getting in. So the future is so bright, no doubt about that.
And I'm going to tell you, Michael, those people that ask for their money back are really just not educated. Because once they get educated,
Absolutely.
knowing what the products are, you and I know, I've been in business my whole life, man. When you can capture an audience of almost 5 billion people and have all the products in one spot, one sweep, and you could have, turnkey, forget about it. Those are people that ask for the refund. They've either been overpromised before, the light bulb never went on, and don't understand what's happening. Right now, we have a sample of 4 products, which is O Academy, we have O Blessed, O Trim, and O Traffic, the 4 that just been introduced. Can you just talk a bit about the process and the roadmap with the soft launch and the hard launch, how that's all going to work? Because I think some people are thinking, where's the 7-day trial? Where are we at? And some people, there's so many people are a little confused. So just give them a little bit of overview of the, where we're at today, the 4 products. Are we going to get more before the soft launch? When are we going to go to hard launch?
Sure. And so, I'll tell folks that, listen, what ONPASSIVE has done in the past 2.5 years or so is nothing but remarkable. Okay. Zoom took 4 years just to go to the marketplace with one product. Okay. ONPASSIVE has 50 products. So it's like you're building 50 different companies at the same time, right? It's really what you have, because each product is standalone. Okay. Yes, they're integrated within the one platform, right? But in actual fact, it's like having 50 different companies, that we're going to have moving forward. But as we get into soft launch, and we are on the verge, we're talking weeks away. We're not months away. We're not 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months away. No, we're literally weeks away from soft launch. Okay. So as we get into the soft launch, what's going to happen is that we're going to have access to, maybe 4 or 5 products. Okay. Some of them you've mentioned already, right? So we're going to have access to those immediately within the soft launch. And then throughout the soft launch, because soft launch will go for about 90 days or so. So throughout that process, more products will get introduced into the back office that we'll be able to beta test, because this is where the founders come in. We are the beta testers. The tech staff, they're doing the alpha testing right now. Okay. And as soon as that alpha testing is finished, then we move into beta, which is our soft launch. Okay. At that point, the price is going to increase. So instead of paying $97 coming in as a founder, people are going to be paying, probably closer to $200 during the soft launch. Okay. And within that time frame, we'll also have the opportunity to generate some income as well. Okay. And the company is going to be deploying its own campaigns during that time. So everything's going to be tested. We'll have a wallet set up that will be able to, basically generate some income in it so we can withdraw that money. Right. So all that's going to happen for us in soft launch. So once the 90 days or so is up, Then we go into the actual hard launch. So we're not far away from that. You know what I mean? But the thing that people should look at though, think a year from now. What's going to happen a year from now? Where are you going to be a year from now? And a year from now, I am telling you, there's going to be so many people who's going to have their life changed just in the next 12 months alone. Never mind 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years, right? I'm talking about just in the next 12 months alone, because some folks obviously are pre-building, right? It's because it's an option. You don't have to. The beauty about OnPassive, it says active or passive, you're going to win. So if you come in and want to keep this all to yourself, hey, that's fine. You're going to win because the company's going to do everything for you. But if you really get it, right? If you really get it and recognize what the potential is, why wouldn't you want to have, 100 on your team by the time you get to launch? Why wouldn't you want to have 1,000 on your team, 10,000 on your team, and so on by the time you get to launch? Because that means you're generating income. Think about this, Frank. Imagine if you have let's just say 1,000. You have 1,000 on your team by the time you get to launch. That means worst case scenario, absolute minimum, you're starting to generate $1,000 a month. Like that's just super conservative. But that's not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is now when you project that over the next 12 months, you could easily have 100,000 customers on your team based upon what the company's going to do for you. So can you imagine just in 12 months, you have 100,000 customers? If the company's just paying you, even just say $1 a month, $1 per sale per month, think about that. That's $100,000 a month. And right now we have individuals in the business who have 100,000 on their team. One guy actually has 250,000 on his team. Okay, so there's some happy people right now. So think of what's going to happen as soon as we launch. So, people have to kind of, broaden their horizon, look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at this from a micro standpoint. What's going to happen next month? What's going to happen the first? Think 12 months out, because that's when people are going to really see that change, because OnPassive will set some serious records starting day one of launch. When we start hearing about, oh yeah, I made this, oh, I made that, because people are going to talk, right? People are going to keep it a secret, you know what I mean, when it comes to income. So, it's just incredible, Frank.
Michael, it's absolutely amazing. And some of the questions, and I'm just sharing some of the questions that are coming my way. And I just want your opinion.
Sure.
Everybody's asking, what's the conservative forecast? I really believe you've been talking conservative right now with all the numbers you've been sharing. So I don't think we have to go too far about that. And I guess the other question I get, if you provide some numbers so people could see and what the possibility could be, a chance of building a team or not a team. And then you really kind of covered that as well in a lot of the discussions you had. Do you want to add anything more to that? Because I really believe that they really don't believe that the system and the AI is going to bring its customers. We talked about 100 million people. Where are those 100 million people going to go, Michael?
Well, it's those who are in, Frank, those who are in, right? It has to go on somebody's team. Okay. So, that's why it's important for people to get in, with the founders, right? To be a founding member of OnPassive. It's like, think of Bitcoins, right? It's like in the early days, when it was like pennies, right? People thought, no, that's not going to work. No, it's a scam. No, it can't be real. Too good to be true, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And then what happened? It went to $1 and it went to $100, $500, even when it was $1,000 per coin. No, it's a pump and dump, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And we know the rest, right? The short version shot up to 20,000, dropped back down to around 4,000. People said, see, I told you it was a scam. See, it's a pump and dump. And then what happens? Where are we now? 63,000 US per coin. So it's to me, I said, people, listen, I believe you've missed the boat. Bitcoin is not going to be pennies, anymore. It's not going to be. So you've missed the boat. You know what I mean? Sure, you can make money now if you're trading it. But realistically, though, if you go buy a Bitcoin today, spend $63,000 to get one coin, right? Just to double your money, like really? So it has to go to 120,000 just to double your money, right? So that's what I'm saying. The opportunity to make 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, you've missed that boat, I believe. That's just my opinion, okay? And so when we look at OnPassive, though, when people jump into OnPassive, Frank, right? Let me just give you a conservative scenario. Let's say someone doesn't have anyone on their team because they want to be passive. That's okay, right? And they only have one account because, as you know, people can have as many accounts as they want. Some folks have 50 accounts, some have 100 because they see it and they get it, right? So that's why they have all these multiple accounts. Well, let's just say somebody has one account, right? They get to launch, hard launch, they just have one account, okay? And so let's say the company, over the course of 12 months, if all the company does is just get you 100 customers, just 100 customers, okay? Oh, you and I know that's conservative. That's super, super, super conservative, okay? For 100 customers, you can blink and get 100 customers. I've seen the marketing capabilities of the company already, because it's been tested. Just that, most founders are not aware that it's been tested. Sometimes people say, oh, I went and I signed up and oh, I end up under the wrong sponsor, okay? Okay, with that means there's organic traffic that's going on, okay? And some of the leaders on the leaderboard, they're able to generate some signups as a result of what the company's doing in the background, just playing with it, okay? So I know the company's traffic is real and it can work, okay? But just going back to the example, right? You have 100 customers over 12 months. Come on, you can close your eyes and get 100 customers, Frank. I know that. But bring in the AI now, right? Conservatively, 100 customers. Okay, great. But what happens now? All these customers are going to just tick a box and say, I want to be a reseller. Because why wouldn't they? All they have to do is just check a box. And once they become a reseller, now the company's going to do the exact same thing for them. So the same way they got you 100 customers in your 12 months, guess what they're going to do for these 100 people? Same thing. So that means over the course of 24 months, you now have, remember, you started with 0. You now have 10,000 customers on your team. Jump one more year now, Frank. Same conservative example, that 10,000 now becomes 1 million customers. Can you imagine you starting out with 0 on your team? You didn't do a thing, and over the course of 36 months, you have the potential of 1 million customers on your team. Think about that income. Again, just using that, if the company pays $1 per sale per month, $1 million per month, Frank, come on. And that's being super, super conservative. What about the person, Frank, who has 10,000 on their team by the time they launch? That person can see 1 million customers in that first 12 months, right? This is why people who get it are building a team, because now the power of compounding, the leveraging factor kicks in, right? And that, gonna give people an exponential growth on their team of customers. This thing is all about customers. Customers, customers, customers. Doesn't matter how you dumb the numbers down, Frank. Doesn't matter. If you say, what if the company gets you 10 customers for an entire year? By the time you reach 5 years, you have 100,000 customers on your team. You just can't. No matter how conservative you want to be with it, the numbers still come out big at the other end. You just can't help it. This thing is a power. Frank, listen. This thing is so powerful. When people get it, they can't sleep at night. You understand? I've been on so many different Zooms and people are telling me, man, you got me thinking. I'm thinking so much about this thing. Like, is this really possible? I'm saying, yes, I've been there. I used to spend $30,000 to $40,000 a month just on driving traffic, Frank. That's it, just driving traffic, right? So I know if you have quality traffic, right? If you have quality traffic, that means you're going to get sales, right? Simple as that. And the more traffic you get, the more sales you're going to get. Like, it's just simple, right? The problem is most people don't have the capability. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the know-how. You understand me? To make that cycle happen. But once you bring in AI, once you bring technology into the mix, it's a game changer.
Michael, coming from you and with your experience and your background, everything you say makes sense. And then let's talk about word of mouth after that happens. Forget the AI. The word of mouth is extremely powerful as well, folks. And you're talking, here's Michael that's been experienced online, etc. And the way he's talking, I've done the numbers, and it's because of you, Michael. I've lost so much sleep as of the 15th of January, and I absolutely love it. I said I was not going to, go hard at this, but I cannot stop talking about it because I'm a businessman. I'm a numbers guy as well. And when you start putting the captured audience and AI in place and the state of the art and cutting products one at a time, Michael, we cannot stop that. And I want the people that are listening to this live or recording, this is just a machine that will not stop. Forget worrying about the numbers. The numbers will take care of themselves and they won't lie. And you know what? What is your risk reward, Michael? Let's talk about risk and reward. Are you kidding me? You know how expensive it is to start a business? You just talked about being online and spending $30,000 a month. Are you kidding me? You got this for $97. If you're thinking about this as a business or personally, or just being an individual, you can't beat it. You have a turnkey because you go get a license for a business today, Michael, just getting your name registered, you know, that's $1,200 in Canada.
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
we both live in Canada. You're on one side of the coast, I'm on the other, and just love you, brother,
Yeah.
being in Canada. And and you know, your passion, you got it out of me and you got it out of a lot of other folks. And I really appreciate it. You know, you've taken a lot of bullets and been taking a lot of questions and everything else because of timing. But let's talk about timing, because people need to know, can you imagine with the pandemic and everything else? And we have you know, and we've taken this long, 2.5 years. And you're talking about, you know, guys taking 4 years to one product. And talk about, okay, the office in India and the staff, what they've done is just amazing with the products and the way they're rolling out. You know, do you know what some of the other products that are going to be coming out in the next few weeks, couple months that are next? Do you know what's on the top of the block?
Yeah, well, you know, we certainly have some other ones that I'm not going to not going to name. We just had a leadership council meeting today, for example, with the CEO. You know, so we did discuss some things. So there's more stuff coming. Is the bottom line. In the next week, next 2 weeks, we're going to see more. We're going to see more products being pre-released, and then that's going to get us all that we need to go into the soft launch. So this is why I say we're weeks away. We're not, you know, we're not months away in all of that as far as the soft launch is concerned. You know, and that's when people are going to really realize, you know, just take one product, Frank, just one. Take any one of them, any one of these products. Every single one is a multi-billion-dollar product, and yet we have so many of them. And we're not going to stop at 50. It's going to be more. It's a tech company. So as with a tech company, you have to continue to improve. You have to continue to build. You have to continue to grow, right? So we're going to see that happening. There's no doubt about that. You know, so people just have to get locked in, because once we get to hard launch, there's no more found in position. There's just none. This is like liquid gold or digital gold. You know what I mean? Like, people just have to get it. Exactly. All they have to do is get in, Frank. Just get in. They don't have to understand from A to Z about the company. Come in, you can take a look around. You know, if you're not happy with what you see, hey, get your refund back. No problem, no questions asked, right? But I just want to see people to get in, because, you know, when I check and I look at the stats, you know, again, I love numbers. There are 7 billion people with a B, 7 billion people around the world that make less than $50 a day, Frank. Less than 50, that's less than $18,000 a year. Can you imagine if you're living in Canada and you're making $18,000 a year? What's that going to do for you? It can't. You know, that's like, you know, somebody who's in university or something and has a part-time job, right? But there are people working full-time around the globe, and that's what it is. And so for those individuals, I say that, listen, if you're in India, for example, and average income's like $2,000 a year, can you imagine if the company just helped them make $10,000 a year? Can you imagine? Never mind, you know, the big numbers, right? Just $10,000 a year, which we know is more than possible. And that's what we're talking about, because this is a global company. It's not just about Canada. It's not just about the US, but it's right around the globe, over 200 countries, right? And so that's why people from Papua New Guinea, people from Vietnam, people from South Korea, people from all over are jumping in. Why? Because it makes sense. Finally, they're going to have something whereby they don't have to sell. They don't have to go recruit anyone. You know what I mean? All they have to do is get in. That's it. Just have to get in. And from you do that, you're going to win. So, you know, it's a done deal.
Michael, you know, you really touched something on the head, and that's the people that are less fortunate around the world. You know, we're in North America, and I tell people, man, if you don't get at least 3 to 5 positions, you're really missing. You don't really see the power of this. I bought 5 positions for my daughter alone, only because of that. I'm throwing that out there to folks, because this will change people's lives. Let's face it, in North America, you know, you go for dinner with a family of 4, you could spend up $500 and then it's wasted the next day. Okay, folks, this is what we're talking about. And, you know, to get a turnkey business like this for $97, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if you're one of those naysayers out there, like, look in the mirror, just do your homework, and you'll really appreciate the value that's here on Onpassive. And, you know, can you imagine those people that are successful and that are doing well in India that make that $10,000, how that's going to go viral? They won't need us in North America.
Exactly.
They don't need us. We have an opportunity right now to make a difference.
But as you say that, Frank, I mean, you know, my kids, each of them have 5 accounts, right? And, you know, my eldest is 18. She's in university, okay? And so the thing is, by the time she finished university, she already has a full-time income without lifting a finger. Because as we know, a lot of kids, they go to university, and by the time they graduate, they can't get a job in their field, right? That's just a reality for a lot of students, right? But can you imagine someone in university, by the time they finish, they already have a full-time income because of OnPassive. So now they're free to really pursue their passion. One gentleman was saying today, and he's a nuclear physicist, okay? And he's an OnPassive. And he's saying that, from his country, right? He's in the United States, but I think he's originally from Cameroon. And he's saying in his country, a lot of people, they become, let's say, doctors, not because they want to be a doctor. They just become a doctor because they know, okay, I can make a lot of money, right? And so that's how they view education, is that they just go and do these different careers just because of the money. There's no passion there. You know what I mean? And to me now with OnPassive, my daughter, she can pursue her passion. It's not about, well, okay, you have to be this or you have to be that because you're going to make a lot of money with it to be able to take care of your future family, et cetera. No, now you can actually pursue your passion. So if you want to go be an artist, they always talk about starving artists. If you want to go be an artist, you can go pursue that because, money is no longer an issue. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I love about OnPassive, right, is that it'll be able to do that. We know that there are people out there who are destitute. We know people need clean water, even in the United States. What happened in Flint, Michigan, right? We know that other places around the world, they need water. We know that there's homelessness going on. Right here in Toronto, there's homelessness. You know what I mean? There's so much good that we can do. And that's why OnPassive was created. It was created for people to generate wealth, and then they can use the excess wealth, because what you're going to make, you won't need all of it. You really won't. So once you take care of yourself and your family, the excess now you can use to all these wonderful causes. And that's one of the reasons Oh Bless, right, was created, right? So people can use the excess wealth and bless other people, who are less fortunate. Because not everyone's going to come into OnPassive. Let's face reality. Not everyone will. You know what I mean? There's almost 8 billion people on the planet now. Not everyone's going to join OnPassive, and that's okay, right? That's okay. But we can also help those who are unable to join and just help them in any way possible, whether it be creating a job for them, you know what I mean? Whether it's just helping them get through a situation. There's so much that we can do. And this company, directly and indirectly, are simply going to change lives. There's no doubt about that.
I think company mission is really to help humanity, which I think is absolutely powerful. And Michael, and along those veins, let's just talk about people. This is, I really believe, a movement. And you've been around, you've done online marketing, you've done some, I'm sure, network marketing and affiliate marketing and all that stuff. Have you ever seen before that, in my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a product, we have a system and a movement that it's just going forward? You've been in systems where you brought in people today and more people left than you brought in, and you just your paycheck keeps rolling and you never keep up with that. With OnPassive, I don't see that stopping. I just see it escalating and going further. Do you see the same there?
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Because like I said, when you look at, number one, the products, okay, because you have to start with products. You have to have real products if you want to be, in business for any length of time, right? So when you start there, and when you start to compare what's in the marketplace, okay, so because we know what's out there, right? And so when you start to, like I said, when you start to add it all up and see how much it will cost someone to get all these products, right? And we hear it from time to time from different marketers that are online, and they're telling us the kind of money that they're spending right now, right? And so they can't wait for OnPassive because they know it's going to save them money. You have people also who have money, Frank. So, not everybody, get involved in OnPassive for the same reasons. Some people have money who've gotten involved with OnPassive. They just don't have time. So they see OnPassive, as something that's going to save them time. So now you have the money, I have the time. Now I can actually live my life the way I want it to be. I can actually have total freedom now, okay? And then obviously you have some people who have time but ain't got no money, right? So OnPassive is gonna help that as well for those individuals. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right, though. This is gonna be something that just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And even when people say, well, then you're gonna reach a point, it's gonna be all saturated and blah, 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 blah. Listen, there's so many other ways to generate income whereby you don't need, new people coming in. You don't even need new customers. Come on, we pay our hydro bill every single month, right? Every single month. Hydro company, they don't need new customers coming in as long as they have the recurring customers, right? Your cell phone bill, right? I still have a landline. You know what I mean? I use that for emergency purpose. I still have one. You got to pay that every single month. And the list goes on and on and on. People got mortgage payments, rent payments, whatever, right? So, there's always monthly payments. You're always going to have bills. Okay, you can get rid of your debt, but you're always going to have bills. You know what I mean? And so when you think of that, if all of a sudden down the road OnPassive says, well, you know what? We're large. We're a large company. Guess what? People are going to look and say, I want to advertise to your database, right? Because that's what companies do. They're always looking at ways and means to expand by promoting to more people. So they simply come to OnPassive and says, yeah, we want to, okay, no problem. You pay us X amount of dollars. So that's more revenue coming in that has nothing to do with new customers coming in. You understand? So this is why I tell people, don't worry about, after a while, people always say that, but it never happens though. I've never been in a company that, no, it's saturated now. Nobody wants to join. Amway's been around for what, 70 years or something like that? And they're still getting people joining. You know what I mean? So this is the thing that people don't understand, that no, in theory, yes, that is possible in theory, but in reality, that doesn't happen that way. And OnPassive is no different, except that we have multiple revenue streams, right? It's not just about customers coming in for the products itself. You're going to have other ways and means. New products will be brought to the table. What if all of a sudden OnPassive decides to provide internet services? Okay. Again, that's recurrent payment that people are already paying for. Now, instead of paying through Bell or Rogers, okay, guess what? People can now use OnPassive service. You understand? So there's so many possibilities, Frank. That's why a database is so important. This is why Facebook gobbled up WhatsApp, gobbled up Instagram to increase their database, right? And so, that's a powerful thing when you think about it from that standpoint, to realize the endless possibilities, the endless. OnPassive income plan is really unlimited. There's no limit to it. There's no, 8 levels or 5 levels or binary unilevel. There's none of that stuff. It's just unlimited income, right? And so when you combine all those things together, what do you have? You have something that is a game changer. That's what you have in OnPassive, a game changer.
Michael, so well said. And I keep smiling because, when you have a captured audience and we have 5 million, you could turn around and sell them internet. You could sell them anything. And that's what I'm trying to put it in layman's terms for everybody. You did a great job. I understand that part. It's a target. We're going to have our own target audience within our own OnPassive to generate extra revenue. And that's what Michael's saying. And that's extremely powerful. Hopefully you folks got that as well, which is unbelievable. Michael, I'm going to start now. I want to just bring a few guests to say hi and see if there's any other further questions. I just absolutely love it. And if the existing founders or people that are sitting on the fence after listening to you, don't go get extra positions or don't jump in. I don't know what it takes to get them in, because you know what, you got me excited. I feel like going to get more positions, and I got lots now, and I'm going to keep getting more and just continue to grow. And I absolutely love it. And, love you being in Canada, and I'm coming after you, buddy. Look out. Here we come. The West against the East. Here we go. As I bring some other guests, can you just talk about the soft launch? Is anybody going to make any money? No one's making money, because I keep getting that question. I want everybody to understand, every founder hasn't made 1 cent, folks. Okay. Just talk about the soft launch, and can people make money, whether they bring me in or anybody else, as I bring my guests on. And please, guests, can you just mute yourself, keep your video off until I call you on? Thanks, Michael. Just answer that for me. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Frank. In soft launch, people are going to make full-time income in soft launch. Okay. Again, not everyone, but some people have positioned themselves for that. Right. So if you take someone, who have, let's say they have 1,000 already on their team and they go into soft launch, okay, the company is going to be generating, doing their marketing campaign and generating sales during that process. So other additional founders will be coming in during the soft launch. And so the company will give people the opportunity to test out their wallets. So they will be generating income streams, everything about this company is win-win-win. The CEO says all we do is win-win-win. You know what I mean? And so in soft launch, you're going to see some folks making a couple $100. Some folks will make a couple $1,000. Some folks will make, tens of thousands of dollars. It's going to happen, and we'll be able to use those numbers at that time, because now it's factual. It's not projections. We can say, hey, guess what? Frank's been in there for a few months now, and last month he made $10,000. Like, we'll be able to say that if it's factual, right? And so we're going to have a lot of great stories moving forward. And then when people start to hear those types of stories, because there are some folks, they're waiting, well, when you make money, tell me about it. Okay, sure, buddy, no problem, right? And so, we're going to be able to use those stories from soft launch as we move forward. But the 7-day trial, because you had mentioned that earlier, the 7-day trial comes after hard launch. And that's, as we go along, Frank, it gets easier and easier and easier for people to jump in. Back in 2018, when there was nothing, okay, it wasn't that easy for people to jump in because most people are not visionaries, right? But in the first 6 months, we had about 10,000. In the first 18 months, we had about 50,000. But guess what happened in the last 6 months? Massive explosion. We had about 500,000, right? In that period of time. So, the point is, as we move forward, it's just getting easier and easier and easier for people to jump in. So as we get into soft launch, even though the price will go up, more people will jump in. Why? Because we can say, yes, we're actually testing these products now. When you come in, you'll be able to do the same as well as a founder and so on. Then you get to a hard launch. It's a free trial. Put away your wallet. Don't need to spend anything. Get in, take the free trial. You'll be able to even generate some income in your wallet while you're in the free trial process. So everything about this company is just brilliant, Frank. So I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see the smile on people's face as they start to realize, finally realize their dreams. No doubt about that.
Michael, you know what? I keep smiling because, I know there's things that that we don't know. And when you start saying those things, it just makes me even that much more exciting. So you know what? We have 3 special guests that are just going to share a short story about themselves, what they think about Onpassive, etc. And Phil, if you could turn your camera on as well, that would be great. I'll call you out one at a time. And I want to just let people know that these 3 individuals that I've selected is because I know they've done their homework. I know they're committed. I know they're engaged. I know that they've seen a lot of the videos, and I'm probably sure they've seen more than I have. And I know that, first of all, it's going to be ladies first. And I'm going to introduce Suzanne. Suzanne lives on Vancouver Island, and she thinks it's God country, but it's the Okanagan. It's really the God's country. But anyways, God lives anywhere. But Suzanne, you know what? I first of all want to say thank you, because you know what? Between Michael, yourself, you're the ones that really got me motivated to get rolling with this, and all your hard work and all the support you've done. So thank you. I want to be the first one to thank you on live here with you, Suzanne. Thank you for what you've done. I just want you to give us a minute conversation, an overview, what you think of Onpassive. And you know what? I'm going to give you a chance also. If I missed a question, if you want to ask Michael, now's the time. So go ahead, Suzanne, you have the floor. Oh,
thank you very much. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. Well, Michael, thank you so much for being on this call. We love you. to love someone so much, to never meet you, it's just amazing, right? So thank you so much for being here. And I know it's, pushing probably 10 o'clock there, right? So thank you so much for staying up. So my story is, my husband and I, we have an excavating business. And, we've probably spent over $500,000 on machinery. We've probably spent the same amount over the last 16 years on expenses, right? Last year, $90,000 on expenses. So when you look at a small business, we're vulnerable. Like anything can happen when you're dealing with the public, liability, insurance, getting sued for something stupid that we didn't even do, taking people to court, trying to fight over $10,000, $2,000. It gets onerous. But when the business has been very good to us. We love it. It's gotten us to this point. And on the side, I've always had admin jobs, done real estate, hospitality, done networking for many years. But as we know, most people in network marketing don't make the money they wish to, right? So I make $2,000 to $5,000 a year. It reduces my taxes. Great. But that's not what I signed up for. Bring 10 people in, 8 leave. It's a little frustrating, right? So we've all been there. And I said to Frank earlier that it's hard to look at someone and say, join my network marketing company. You can be really successful, when I know in my heart that if I'm outgoing, I do the trade shows, I get the business cards, I talk to people. If I struggle, how can I expect you to do well? So that's where it leads me. What do I do? Where do I go? So Sharon introduced me to Onpassive last July. In November, the light went on. I finally had time to really understand it. And she had been selling software for years. So I knew she knew the products, and I wanted the products for our excavating business, for my networking. And then once I understood way more than the products, then it was just who cares about like who cares about helping my networking or helping the excavating? If I help the excavating, Mike's going to go out and do a lot of tons more work. So here we are. If you're self-employed, if you're a lawyer, a dentist, a carpenter, an electrician, a plumber, you are vulnerable. The day that you get sick or hurt, you can't work. Your income is compromised. So ONPASSIVE is for everyone. It's for a networker. It's for a self-employed. It ticks all the boxes. We love you. Come into our family. You'll be well looked after. You will never regret it. Get on the train. Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me speak today. That's it.
So thanks, Suzanne. Thanks for being on the call. Hector, just a short version, what do you see in ONPASSIVE? I mean, you got a nice image back there. What's that image about behind you? And what do you think of ONPASSIVE? And give it a minute or less, please.
First things first, 2 seconds. Michael Williams, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen you on webinars before. I'm so happy you came on this call. The reason that I got in passive is quite simple. I was called from a very good friend of mine who I trust and I have always trusted. And he told me, you're going to look at something, you're going to call me back tomorrow. So I did. And then I basically signed up. And then I talked to Frank too, briefly. And I had taken the same approach. And I took 2 weeks and I watched everything in the GoFounders back office. And I watched it and I went to webinars and I just listened. And then when I heard Ash speak the first time, it just struck me and I knew. And I have 5 daughters. So I got them all positions because they don't know it, but they will know it because when I give it to them in a year, I'm gonna give it to them in a couple of years. I made the mistake of telling one daughter and she's like the one who talks to the other ones all the time. So I don't have to say anything. I just talk to one and then they'll all know. So the phone's been ringing off the hook. I can't sleep. I blame Frank and Fred for that. And I really appreciate all the support with Frank, Suzanne, yourself, Redfern, everyone. But the biggest thing about this company is if somebody's looking at this, it doesn't matter if the lights don't come on right away. Get yourself a founder position because once they're gone, they're gone. You will not be a founder. And in 5 years from now, there'll be people looking at you going, you're one of those founders? That's what they're going to say. And I'm telling you, I know this. And I know companies around the world that I do business with. They're going to love this stuff. They already do. So Frank, I don't want to talk anymore. So I do, but I don't. So thank you very much for having me on to speak. And Michael and Suzanne and everyone else, just keep rocking it. Try and get some more sleep if you can.
It's going to be kind of hard. Well, I'd like to introduce my next guest, Shaul from Israel. First of all, Shaul and I go way back when, and Shaul's a dear friend, and we've been doing business from way back when, and we're quite close. And it's quite funny. He's a little disappointed in himself, but he knows why. And we're going to keep smiling. And Shaul, I want to thank you for everything you've done for ONPASSIVE. And now you're on the legal counsel, and that's because of hard work and dedication and really believing in the product and moving it forward. So Shaul, let us know what you think of ONPASSIVE and some words of wisdom to the folks. And if you want to say anything to Michael, you go ahead and do so, because I'm sure you can. Go ahead, Shaul. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for calling me here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning now, and because you're one of my best friends, so I'm not sleeping. And this is what I'm doing for the 6 months. I don't love to sleep, so ONPASSIVE come to my life. What I think of ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is something. It's a dream come true, let's say, because I'm a networker, and what I'm doing all time is to find a solution for people that are not making money. This is the truth. I make because I know to recruit people, I know how to bring them to the table, but most of the people don't know how to do it. And when I saw ONPASSIVE, it's take me even not 1 second to say I'm in it and exactly to win it. And when I know Michael and you 6 months ago, I told him that I'm going to change some people's life. And this is what I'm doing. I know exactly where ONPASSIVE is going. So that's all. If you have other question, just ask. I'm going to answer you.
You're amazing.
ONPASSIVE is here to rest and to be here and to help all the humanity. I'm sure of it.
Shaul, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. You work so hard at this, and you're, on the other side of the world. I love you over there, brother. You're just like a brother. And you were there in January to make sure that I got the light bulb on. And I know you were, you inspired me as well with Michael, etc. Now going across there over to Malaysia, another good guy that we got to know really well in those wee hours in the morning. And poor Michael, we were keeping him up till 2, 3 in the morning, days after days. And they thought these guys will never go away. And it's for guys like Phil that kept on asking him, Phil, I just say a few words from Malaysia. Let us know what you see in ONPASSIVE and what your thoughts were in those early days. And you've done and seen almost every video. And I want to thank you for your support in Telegram while I sleep. You're helping the group. So go ahead, Phil.
Greetings from Malaysia. We are in the morning here, and we just got up, and it's your evening there. Well, it's always so good to see Michael, Suzanne, and Shaul was a surprise coming in. Michael, I have to complain to you. Every time I see your video, I go and buy a position. It's crazy. You're costing me a lot of money, but it's incredible. It's really incredible. And I've seen, like what Frank says, I've seen most videos. I think I spent 18 hours a day on videos, and just to learn more and more about ONPASSIVE. I think this part of the world in Malaysia, it's very different from, say, North Canada or in Canada or North America, where, like you hit the nail on the head. If someone just made an extra $1,000 a month, it will change their life. Simple as that. I mean, we're not even talking about the millions. 1,000 a month will change your life. And in Malaysia here, it's taken a while for the penny to drop, because there have been so many scams and people taken for a ride, and you have companies coming in which are genuine, and they start changing the plan, and you've heard all of that before, and they change the plan and they pay you less, they don't want to pay you more, and they with ONPASSIVE, it's incredible, and people are starting to understand that it's not easy to build one product, let alone 50 products. So as we see ONPASSIVE coming in, it's a game changer. And the good thing about what Ash did is, even if you miss the founder's position, you will still have a chance to come in, pay a bit more, and even right in the middle of when the business is still going on, you still have a chance to come in. May not be a founder, but it's how he set the whole thing up, and to let people always have the chance. I mean, people may not see the bulb straight away, people may not think it's real, but they will always have a chance to still have a piece of ONPASSIVE. If and when they come in, yeah, they may pay a bit more, but they still can come in and experience the phenomenal thing of what ONPASSIVE is trying to do. As far as humanity is concerned, I mean, what can you say? I mean, Ash has got it all covered. There's so much poverty, like you say, in the US, but in Malaysia, in Asia, it's rampant. People are just making like $200 a month US and feeding a family of 6. I mean, you see that all the time in Malaysia, and let alone India, and like you say, in Papua New Guinea, people go to work 2 weeks just to get $100, to come into ONPASSIVE, and you have people doing that. So this part of the world is very, very special to what ONPASSIVE is going to do to people here. And like I always say, the Chinese, the Japanese, and the Koreans, and the Indonesians, haven't woken up yet. And they haven't come in yet. I haven't seen a Chinese flag yet in the back office. Now, once they wake up, and once ONPASSIVE has got it all right with legality in China or in Japan or in Korea, my goodness, you know what's going to happen for us folks that have done network marketing before. They're going to come in by the millions and millions, and they're not going to buy one account, for sure. And that is, I'm waiting for that to happen. When the Chinese wakes up, it's going to be mind blowing. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's great to have everybody here tonight. I mean, Michael, Suzanne, Shaul, Frank, I mean, all the other people who are on this call. I mean, you can't ask for more. And if you still can't make your mind up to come in for $97, well, I can't say anything. It's just crazy. Okay. So thanks a lot, Michael. I mean, it's not easy for you, I know for sure, to come and be with us this evening. Thanks, Suzanne. Shaul, you need to get some sleep somewhere. Okay. It's
Tomorrow.
like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, your time. Crazy, crazy. But your dedication is phenomenal. You are always there for me. And I know I get some crazy calls sometimes, and I pick up the phone and I call you, and you're always there for me. And I thank you very, very much for that. Frank, you've given me all your time, and it's sometimes it's a bit lonely out here, but yeah, I get tremendous support from you guys, and I really want to thank you. So thanks a lot for having me on this call.
Bill,
Cheers.
thanks for being on the call. Thank you so much. I'm going to just say a few words, and then I'm going to let Michael gather his thoughts, because I want him to close the call, what he wants to say to the audience about ONPASSIVE. But I want to thank Suzanne for being on here and all your support, Hector for doing all your homework and believing in the system and saying a few words, and Shaul being there always for me if I need you as well. I got it covered, whether it's wee hours in the morning, late at night. Suzanne was there early days. Shaul, you're there. Phil, you've been a great support, and we've been working through this together. I'm extremely excited about ONPASSIVE and the future of ONPASSIVE, and hopefully this will help you folks. And if you don't see it here, I brought this panelist for the reason I have, because of their dedication and because they definitely self-motivated and educated themselves. And I'm sorry, do not take this as an offense bet out there, but most people take the easy way out and they wonder why things don't happen. Well, look in the mirror and see how much time you spent on ONPASSIVE and whether you got educated or not. Because when you do get educated, you cannot sleep. And that's where I'm at. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being on this call. Michael, thank you so much for your time. I know it's very valuable, and you've done a lot for, in the legal counsel, you've done a lot to steer the committee. I know you have, and where we are today. And I want to thank you, my friend. Come on, Canada, let's go hard. World, let's go hard. And take it away and close the call.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Like I said, it's a great pleasure to be here. I always enjoy speaking about ONPASSIVE because it's just something that is in my blood. I live, I eat, I sleep, I drink ONPASSIVE just because I'm excited. I'm passionate about helping people. That's just the bottom line. It didn't matter what it was. When I was in university and I'm tutoring high school kids, math, and always trying to do something to help people, and so this business gives me the greatest opportunity to be able to reach out to so many around the world. When I'm with those in Australia, when I'm with those in India, when I'm with those in the Caribbean and so on, it just gives me great joy when I see the smile on people's face that they finally have the opportunity, to be able to live life on their terms. That is something that's special. Because a lot of people, as Phil was saying, there's a lot of people that have it hard out there, and yes, we are blessed to be in a good situation and live in a country such as Canada and all of that. But, there are a lot of people around the globe that really need a helping hand. And that's the number one thing, that I'm excited about with ONPASSIVE, is because it's going to be possible. It's going to be possible to reach out to so many worldwide. And here's the thing, right? It's always been said, you have to be able to, conceive it in your mind, and you have to be able to believe it to achieve it and all this fancy stuff. But guess what ONPASSIVE is saying? No. Even if you don't believe it, even if you can't see the millions, ONPASSIVE is going to force you to see it in your bank account. They're going to force you to be successful. All you have to do is get in. That's it. There's nothing else for you. People say, well, what's required of me? There's nothing that's required of you other than get in. Right? Just open the door and come in. That's all people have to do in this business, right? And so when I think of that, I'm saying, wow, so many people are out there struggling finding a job. How many people have lost their job during this pandemic, right? Lost their job, businesses gone out, no more, disappeared, right? Companies that's been around for years just disappeared, just like that, right? Because of the current situation. And yet we have something that is blossoming in the middle of a pandemic. How do you do that, right? Just think about this. This is why it's more than just a business. It's a movement. It is a movement. We can see the case counts in India, right? We can see it, right? We can, get the numbers and so on. And yet this company is thriving. How do you grow when so many companies are going down, down, down? Here's this company called ONPASSIVE that haven't even launched yet. No one's getting paid any money, and yet this thing continues to grow and grow and grow. And when you see the caliber of people that's coming in, that just warms my heart. And when you hear what people have to say, the different causes, You know, when I speak to a gentleman by the name of Peter, and Peter wants to help the homelessness that's rampant in Detroit, Michigan, right? When you hear people's stories of what they want to do, this old woman that was launched, you know, to be able to help women around the world, right? And to see that they're moving forward. They're not even waiting for the actual launch for this to happen. They're already moving forward, making plans and how they're going to help so many. Like, you just have to get in. You just have to get in to be able to understand everything about ONPASSIVE, because it's very hard to convey what ONPASSIVE is really about in one sitting. This is why sometimes we're on Zoom, Frank, and we're literally there for 4 or 5 hours. You know, usually on a Monday afternoon from 2 o'clock till about 6 o'clock, it's just Q&A. We're just trying to reach out to people and just get them the answers that they're looking for. Because I believe that this is the one company that will have the most impact on people's lives globally. There is no doubt about that in my mind, no doubt. So whether people are coming for the money, whether people are coming for the products, right? It doesn't matter. It is all here with ONPASSIVE. So I'm truly blessed to be a part of it. I'm glad, you know, that I can, you know, be here with you guys tonight. And I'm telling you, Frank, let's just keep locking arms, brother, and just make the best of it so we can reach as many people as possible, because it's all about serving humanity. All right. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks all.